Howdy, folks. Nicole Cutts and Lisa Sacco. Welcome to a short conversation with Lisa and Nicole. These are shorts of our longer live episodes that we put out every Sunday entitled Some of My Best Friends Are White. Now, some of my best friends are still white during these conversations, but these are just the conversations. So today, for our conversation, I wanted and both of us really, I'm in charge, wanted us to talk about, we're going to review George Lopez's new special on Netflix called We Will Do It for Half. It's not we will, it's we'll do it for half. And probably sneak in a little bit of reviewing Wanda Sykes. This is not normal, even though it's not new, but that's okay. So I personally, we both love George Lopez. Let me say that.
Love George Lopez.
Okay, that.
And Wanda Sykes.
Okay, well, I don't
Deone
love
Cole.
Wanda as much as I love George, but we do love Deone Cole a lot. Okay, so Deone, if you're watching, no, so Deone, I know,
Call me.
and I know you like vintage women, so call us. Okay, but we're talking about George right now, and so his special, We'll Do It for Half, I thought was hilarious. As soon as I saw he had a new Netflix special, I was like, oh my God, George Lopez. And I sent it to, I was like, have you watched George Lopez's special? I thought it was brilliant, as always. One of the things I love about George, many things I love about him, I love the way he talks about things that are peculiar to the Latin community. He's Mexican, but he's including all Latinos, and I can identify with a lot of it. Okay, it's also a lot of immigrant culture. You know, my mother's from Jamaica, a lot of things in common. And I think he's brilliant. So I loved it. Lisa, what did you think about it?
I thought it was very funny. I'm a big Lopez fan. But the thing that I thought was interesting when he was talking about the wall.
Okay.
Well, first of all, he's being funny about the wall. Because he's
Yeah.
like, we would have had the wall built. Wall would have been done.
Right.
I don't know if you're waiting on permits. And then we would have built the wall, but we wouldn't have crushed the tunnels underneath, which is saying, like, dude, you're going to build this wall. It's not going to
stop anybody.
But the other side of that conversation that I feel like people never really stop and think about it logically. And because I also teach all ESOL kids and mostly newcomers
You have
to
to
the
tell
country.
our audience what ESOL is.
Oh, English as a second language.
Okay.
So a lot of my kids at high school are new to the country, may or may not have papers. And these are conversations and stories that I hear all the time. What people don't understand is nobody wants to leave their country.
I don't even want to move houses.
You don't want to have to go and learn a new language. It's so hard. You're not the same person in another language. It is just really difficult to accept a new culture, new traditions, new language, new friends, and also leave your family behind.
I can dig it. And because we're focusing on George, what is it that he said that you wanted to comment on?
Well, he was saying that the wall is really to keep the people in, that the wall isn't about keeping like drugs and gangsters out.
Oh God.
It's about keeping us in.
Yeah.
And just protecting that story.
Yeah, the story that
And
so that
also-
Trump can say, I'm protecting you from
Right,
the scourge of the Mexicans.
I mean, unfortunately, Trump is just not extremely informed because the gangs actually started here in this country. And then we exported that problem. So another piece of inaccuracy from Trump.
Well, yeah,
And
but it
you're
also
not going to
suits
keep drugs out. Like, what are these drugs they're talking about? Are you talking about all the opioids? Are you talking about all
It's
the
not coming from
Percocets,
there.
oxycodone,
Right.
and new forms of heroin? Are you talking about that? Because that's not what's coming across the border.
One of the other things I appreciate
Drugs
about
are drugs.
George is that he makes these topics funny. Lisa's gotten a little serious about it. But
I know.
I know, because it is
just
serious.
bothers
But
me.
can we talk about how much we love? Okay, I will tell you
Yes.
what I love also about George. I love the fact that he speaks in Spanish. He throws a lot of phrases in Spanish, and he doesn't explain it. I love that.
Yeah.
And I get most of it. I don't understand every word, but I appreciate that.
Yeah, it gives a lot of flavor to it, to his comedy.
Yeah. And like, okay, I don't want to talk badly about, what's his name, Iglesias. Who's the boy? The chubby
The
boy?
big one?
He calls himself Fluffy.
Fluffy, yeah.
I don't think he's funny. I don't think he's funny. You like him?
No, not really. I mean, I've tried to like him. I might give him another chance, but
I listen to him a lot because I listen to comedy 24/7 basically. I don't think he's very funny. And I always feel like he's kind of bragging. And I also feel like I don't like when he says stuff in Spanish and then he explains it. It's like, don't explain it. If somebody doesn't understand something, it should be on them to learn what that phrase means.
And you can figure out most things
Yeah,
by the
exactly.
connotation.
So, I mean, maybe it's this tiny thing, you know what I mean? And they're very different comedians entirely, and one's older and one's younger. But that bothers me that he explains what he says, whereas George doesn't explain it. George just says it. And it's like, if you get it, you get it.
He's comfortable.
I love him. Mm-hmm. But George, you're not looking very well. He doesn't look healthy. And I know he had a problem before. He got a kidney transplant a long time ago.
Yeah, but he probably has other complications from that.
Well, he might, but it just worried me a little.
He didn't look great.
He didn't look good. And he looked like he was having a little bit of like a tick. He had this thing that he was doing. He does that thing where he like winks, like he does this thing and he does that. But this was looking like a tick. I didn't
notice that.
Yeah, I was a little concerned. So, George, we doubt you'll see this. And I doubt you even care necessarily.
But
we
love
care about you,
George.
We love you. We care about you. We know you joke about not going to the doctor and all that. But, please take care of yourself because we need you around for a very long time. Wanda, this isn't normal.
I mean, Wanda's suit in that special was...
You liked her white suit with the sneakers?
There's no way that suit did not come from Paris. There's no way. It was freaking perfect.
Yeah, she's also a fashionista.
She looked great, and the sneakers were perfect.
Yeah, she looked very good.
Yeah, she looked great.
Yeah, and I liked her commentary. She talks about race, obviously, a lot. When you talk about the opioids, she did talk about how...
Oh, yeah, she did talk
they
about
don't give black people those drugs, which is true because... There's this concept of, black people, pain, white people. We need to give you the drugs. Plus, we don't want to encourage you, black people, because you'll start getting addicted and using the drugs. So she talks about she's at work.
She's like, they gave me ibuprofen.
Yeah, she's like, I had a double mastectomy and they gave me ibu, and she said effing profin. But she said she's at work, and she's like, I got a headache. She said white people start pulling out all kind of drugs.
I got Percocet. I got oxycodone.
And
you need to sleep for 12 hours. I got that too.
Right. But no, I mean, and it's true. But I know I gave you a hard time about being serious. But with this opioid epidemic, what we're seeing, it's hitting the white folks very, very hard because of it starting with the prescription drugs. And I'm sorry. And I apologize to, whoever, but I can only get so upset because when crack was a problem, it wasn't considered an epidemic and we had to get help for the people who were addicted to crack. It was throw them in jail. So I got a problem with that. Again, we talk about race and inequality, so we got to address that.
It's true.
But
that happened.
So this was not really quite a movie review, but I will say I'm totally giving We'll Do It for Half a thumbs up. What are you giving it?
I give it a thumbs up, but I really recommend you watch the Deone Cole because That's
not how movie reviews work. You can't just be like, I give it a thumbs up, but watch the Deone Cole. Okay, well, can we review Deone another time?
Okay, but also liked his outfit a lot too. I thought he did, except his shoes needed to be different. But
this is Cold-Hearted.
Cold-Hearted.
Cold-Hearted. Sorry,
Yeah.
what was up with the shoes?
I think they were black and white, and he had black leather pants on and a shirt, which looked good. But the shoes were like too matchy. He needed to He needed to go in a different direction.
Okay, so we're gonna tag you in this, Deone. So if you
now
see
Deone's
that,
never gonna talk to me.
I know, because you had a good chance with him before that.
I did.
Now that you dissed his shoes. Hey,
I
don't have a problem with the shoes because you're not gonna have them on when you and I get together. Okay, so don't even worry about that. All right, thank you for joining us, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and pass it on.